This isn't going to work well.
It's fun.
Hey everybody, my name is Steve Brown with It's My Railroad, and today we're going to start building one of these. Hey, welcome to Sidetracked. This is the place we keep the stuff that doesn't exactly fit in with one of our project builds, but we want to share with you anyway. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, and then don't forget to push that little bell icon so you can catch future videos. Well, folks, welcome to a very windy day in Bloomington, California. I am at the Union Pacific Bloomington Yard. Actually, it's the West Colton rail facility, whatever. Anyway, I love coming to this yard. It's a very busy place. It goes on for miles. Always something happening here. I do a lot of rail fanning here, but I am here today specifically to look at this building back here behind me. This is some kind of an engine maintenance, engine servicing facility. I'm not exactly certain what's in there. And since they just kicked me off the property like 2 minutes ago, I'm never gonna know, I don't think. So the reason I brought you here today is so we can get some pictures of this thing with our macro zoom lens so we don't end up arrested by the time this is over. And then I'm going to gather that information together, take it back into the hobby room, and then we'll sit down and see if we just can't scratch build one of those.
Well, it looks like I made it back to the hobby room without actually getting arrested. And I got some pretty good pictures, I think, along the way. I'm going to show you these pictures in no particular order, just the order I took them, actually. And let's look at the kind of detail and stuff that we're going to try to model. First thing I'm looking at here is the structure's construction. And it's got this sort of ribbed, corrugated kind of siding. Now, I went online looking for sheets of this, and I'm not certain I found exactly what I was looking for, but I did find a couple of kits in scale that seem to have this siding. So I bought them. And the thing is, this may now turn into a sort of scratch, build, kit bash thing. I don't know. It's my railroad. At the end of the day, I want this structure to look the way I want it to look. So we're going to piece this thing together however we feel we need to. But you see, it's kind of got this tan color on the sides of this chocolate brown stripe. Now, those aren't really UP colors. I don't really know what colors those are. And I can actually paint the structure to look like that, or try to tie it more into a BNSF kind of color scheme. I haven't decided yet. We'll see as we go. Jumping over to this picture real quick, you can see we've got a roll-up door in here, and I'm not certain. There's some kind of a rolly cart. I can tell because right down here where the mouse is orbiting, there's a wheel on something. I don't know what that is. This little fenced-off structure, again, not exactly certain what that is, but it almost seems like there's a compressor in there from where at my vantage point. And I think on my railroad, there is going to be a compressor in there, which is kind of cool. You'd find that in a facility like this. You also see these vents along the side. Those are kind of cool. We'll put those into the model. And you got a man door right here. The freight door that goes in, I'm probably going to have it closed down about a foot just to represent it's a freight door, because when we get to the engine side doors, I won't put any in. It'll just be always open because I'm always pretty much going to have a locomotive in there. But I want people to look inside and see the detail. Above it, you see we got this wall pack here. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then over here, look at all this ground clutter. Just all this crap lying here on the side. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm trying to detail ground clutter around a structure, I run out of ideas. And this is a perfect example. I can just put a gang box or two and this ladder thinger that's here, over here. Some miscellaneous metal shapes. Don't know what they are. Pallet. I don't know. We can put that in. Moving just over here. One last detail to point out. We got this culvert. Looks like all the drainage comes into this culvert. Probably goes into some drainage system because otherwise it's got to go uphill to get around the other side. But then you can walk right across it to whatever freight car is here. We're going to have to modify the way this spur comes in here on my layout, but I've got some plans for that. That might be kind of cool. Also looking here really closely where the mouse is moving right now, that is a concrete slab that this sits on, it appears. Now you can see how the man door is slightly higher than the slab. At least it looks like it in this picture. So I think hydrocal will get that done, and then I'll put the model down on top of the hydrocal. It'll look good. Also have these yellow bollards right here. You'll see these in a couple of the pictures. Those are kind of really small in scale, but I'm going to see if we can get something like that done. Anyway, moving forward. This is just a quick shot of the kind of construction it is. You see where my mouse is moving right here. All those rivets right there will give me an indication of where the cross bracing is inside. We got this little Wi-Fi repeater deal. I don't know if we can make that work or not. Maybe that's a cell phone deal. Just for the heck of it, I thought I'd show you this sign here. This is the actual sign that I was standing in front of when I got kicked off the property. But it says it's the Union Pacific Railroad, 2000 South Sycamore Avenue. But it shows administrative offices, Loco shop, receiving dock, wheels shop, and service facility. On my layout, this service facility is going to be part of a complex. And so I might want to try to model this little sign to point to where all the different buildings are. It won't look exactly like this because, the UP's got a massive yard and I got this little tiny layout in my hobby room. But moving on to the next picture, this is going to be the focal point of this structure. This is the front of the structure where the locomotives actually enter into the structure. Now you see both roll-up doors are rolled down. I've seen them normally opened up. I think they were only down because of the wind that I was experiencing today. But a couple things to draw your attention to. Let's just sort of start at the bottom here. These sticks sticking up right here. Most of you probably already know this, but those appear to be lights that light up the side of the locomotive, probably at night when they're going to bring it in and look at it. I don't think I can get that done, to be honest with you. I don't have enough room, and I don't think scale-wise I can make actual lights come out of that. But this little sort of rolling ladder thing might work. This little wooden table that's all beat up might work. They got some cardboard boxes just lying here on the ground, or I don't even know what those are. Whatever. We'll get to that later. So there's that. Something else to point out, these yellow lines that I'm circling right now, safety lines. As long as the locomotive is behind that, you can go past it on this side. That's pretty cool. Moving a little higher, we've got this man door on the left, this man door on the right, and porches underneath them. Those will be included in our model, although we're going to adjust the scale a little bit, I think. And then we get this exhaust fan, we get this compressor hose here, and that's all cool. Wall pack above each man door, wall pack above the freight doors. I have an idea in my head on how to make that work and actually light those up. Don't know if it's going to work, but I'm all about a challenge. The 5% helix will tell you that. And I might try to get that down, but something that I'm pretty confident I can get done, sort of. These lights that I'm circling right here, that's actually more of red than amber, but maybe it's amber, I don't know. When they're not illuminated, they look red. These are illuminated red, we'll say. On the other door, see, they're illuminated green. I think what these are saying is this bay is occupied by a locomotive. This bay over here is not occupied by a locomotive. And I've got a way using a BD4 and some other junk that I think I'm going to actually make those lights work on my engine maintenance facility. I'll show you that as we get further into the project. But trying to get these things to look like they look. Here, let me just zip back real quick. See, this is what one of them looks like. See how it's got a T-condylet with an industrial fixture on the bottom and the top. Try to do that in scale. I think we're dreaming, people. So I've got another way. I want to try to do that where maybe the LED pops through here, and it's almost like a signal head or traffic signal head. I'm going to try to see if I can incorporate that. Anyway, oh look, that door's open. It wasn't open in the other picture. Amazing. So that's the front of it. Moving just a little further forward, a couple more photos here. On this photo, this is what would be the north side on my layout. Actually, north side on the real railroad. You can see this roof access ladder with the landing on it. I'm going to model that, although you won't see this whole side of the building pretty much at all. But you'd see it where it pops up like that. I'm going to put that whole thing in just for the heck of it to make it work. And then up here at the top, we got this catwalk that goes everywhere to service these exhaust fans. So I can put the exhaust fans on. I can put the catwalk on. Put the ceiling on. I don't think most of that is going to be a problem. But here's a better view of it. You see the whole roof like that? And see kind of the mountains in the background and blah, blah, blah. Actually, on my layout, there will be mountains like that in the background. Get her done. One more picture forward is this one. They opened the freight door up between the time I left and came back. And now look, the lights are amber. Oh, does that mean there's a locomotive in there? I can't see it in this vantage point. But you can sort of see the cross bracing in there for the corrugated siding. You see some toolbox kind of stuff barely in there, some tanks of some kind, probably oil and stuff. And then way in the back, you see another one of those green lights. That tells us something, I guess. Anyway, this is going to be a fully illuminated structure. Inside, I'm going to put LEDs. I've already bought them. And I'm going to try to light up these wall packs. And I'm going to try to light up these illuminated indicators. So anyway, that's the engine servicing facility we're going to try to model. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. If you want to stay up to date on the progress of this project, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. And then, of course, like and share this video with somebody. And until next time, my name is Steve Brown. Thanks a ton for being here today. And rail on, my friends.